was wondering, since skeptics say that we live in either whatever the case, but that we basically can't have free will in this current universe from just the way that logic works with causality. And I was wondering if I can't really, if you can imagine a scenario where we would have what you would call free will.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't really.
So
I used to.
in one of your comments. Yeah.
I used to have this idea that if you want to be free, you need to be God, basically. But after quite a lot of arguments, I discovered that even God cannot be free.
Well, that is if God has logic that he has to follow, but that would be prescribing attributes to that specific conception of God. I mean, it could be no logic at all. But I can imagine that as well. But in one of your videos in the comments, you said you were arguing with somebody about free will. He said that we have free will. You say because it's influenced, we don't. But that what he's arguing for is the middle position where we have limited free will, right?
Okay.
Well, isn't free will just defined as being able to make a choice? Even if you're like held at gunpoint, you can still choose to get shot. Isn't that free will in itself already?
Yeah. That's compatibilism. I understand it. Yeah. Like, for example, I want to pick up a pen. I can do it. That's free will. You are not hindered by any external factors, right?
But that's different from free will?
I think the core point is that if we're taking free will, if we're gonna like discuss the roots of free will, we cannot be free. But in terms of compatibilism, like what compatibilism says, that definitely our identity is deterministic, but because we can do what we can and nothing external of ourselves hinders us, that's free will.
Also, I'm not quite sure we live in a completely deterministic universe because we can't predict quantum events. I'm not exactly into the physics. It's been a long time since I studied that on my own.
I know your point.
We can't. Yeah.
Okay, but my problem is when we are talking about the individuals, me and you and Steve and all the others, we are not governed by quantum physics because our brains work on biochemistry and basic classical physics like thermodynamics and stuff. And those things are quite determined by the laws that the universe dictates.
Well, for example, if one of your choices is influenced by how happy you feel in that moment, it's like the choice is, do I hug the woman next to me right now? And if you have one molecule of dopamine too little to hug her, but if you had one molecule more, you would hug her. And in that scenario, I know it's a small and unlikely scenario, but there was some quantum fluctuation, I don't know, an electron blocks that one dopamine molecule and you decide not to hug her. Wouldn't that break determinism, or do you think that's far-fetched?
Okay, even if that is true, for the sake of argument, let's just say that even if it is true, it doesn't become determined then, but it becomes rather probable. Okay, right?
Yeah.
But it becomes probable. It becomes again probable on It becomes probable on chance that we cannot control. It just becomes probable on pure chance.
No, I disagree with your skeptic.
Okay, just let him finish first.
Okay. No, I don't really know what to think about that. I think free will is just the choice itself. I want to know what Steve has to say.
I agree with you. That's compatibilism. It's anyway. It's just a point in between hard determinism and libertarianism. It's a compatibilist point of view. But the problem in neuroscience, you cannot be free because basically your brain is composed of things that you haven't chosen.
I disagree, all skeptic.
Okay.
If you don't have free will, how are you honestly fiddling with that pen just now? How did you get the idea to just touch that pen and fiddle with it?
How did I get the idea? I wanted to.
Are you sure?
I'm sure I wanted to.
It's not like it's not like you were conscious. You didn't even know.
No. I wanted to. Okay, I'm picking it up right now. But there are some events before picking up this pen that led me here. And if I
When you were talking to him, it doesn't count because you weren't overly aware that you were holding the pen when he was talking to you. Meaning that either you made the choice without realizing it, or you had the free will and you just did it. But if it wasn't free will, then why did you do it? Unless.
What do you mean? Let's just say me picking up this pen right now. It's free will, right? Do you think it's free will? Me picking up this pen right now?
If you're picking the pen,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it is because like you want to prove the point, but you made the choice, and picking a pen is pointless in your life. Like, why do you want to pick a pen? Just because you want
to alleviate suffering of not having a pen.
Anyway,
yes.
Anyway, I want to pick a pen to prove a point, okay? Would you agree that there was some particular event that preceded this event?
Yeah.
That's basic.
Yes.
We could follow the events back in time until we find a particular event that definitely was determined and we did not choose. Like, for example, the event of us getting born or our family.
But that just proves causality. It doesn't disprove that you have a choice.
Yeah. If causality,
you cannot compare being born with doing something of your choice. Like being born is something that happens randomly. It's the choice of the others.
I agree. Being born is the choice of others. It's determined that you get born, right? But you are born in a neighborhood and in a family surrounding with the genetic tendencies, with a psychology, with components, right? Did you choose that point A, that very first point A?
No, of course don't.
If you didn't choose the very point A, and A leads to B, and B leads to C, and C leads to D, how do you say that D is free if it stands on a foundation that is determined?
Okay, if what you're saying is legitimate, then why don't you eat the pen?
Don't do it. Okay, comments.
No, please don't.
Oh my God.
Because if you're not gonna eat the pen, it means you have free will. You have a
No,
choice.
I don't eat the pen because it would harm me, and I didn't choose my particular anatomy or physiology.
So you're not even taking the compatibilist position. You're just saying there is no free will whatsoever by the definition.
We have the illusion of free will.